I'm a Lightworker, and I do lots of healing work on myself. Sometimes I feel like I am going through so much negative human experience. Life stuff comes up, and I feel like I am struggling right now. Things feel so heavy. Why does the up and down ride feel so magnified?
That is a really great question and a very common one. And sometimes I've sat there and said, what is going on? Why does it have to be so difficult? So I'm a light worker. I'm here to hold the light for humanity. And how can I do that when I'm going on this crazy roller coaster? Healing is really multidimensional. We are multidimensional beings. So the answer I'm going to give is not going to get all aspects. I want to give you a gist of what's involved. But mostly what I want you to know is where you are is perfect. You're evolving. When you're working on yourself, you are always moving more ahead. Although feel really high and we can go on this roller coaster ride. I'm feeling great. I'm not feeling good. I'm feeling great. I'm not feeling good. This is part of the healing experience. We are going through the ascension process. For those of us who have said yes at a very high level, we've agreed to go on this journey with Mother Earth. There's a lot of cleanup we need to do, a lot of themes we came to experience, and we ultimately came in with contracts, goals, missions, soul contracts, all that cool stuff which is waiting for us, and we're always kind of working on ourselves to get to a higher level which brings us in alignment with our soul purpose, but we're always a work in progress. I've been doing work on myself for 15 years. It's gotten a lot easier, trust me, but I've been through the dark night of the soul, the years of the dark night of the soul. It's been tough. I want to explain my journey and many other people's journeys so you know you're not alone. First off, never give up. Do the work. It's so important. I know it's irritating when I say do the work, but there's no magic wand that's going to clear away all your stuff. Yes, you can go to an energy healer, and what we do is we work with your soul. We create a space and we allow these beings of light to come through, and your soul and these beings of light will release that layer. But no one can just dissolve, release, and let go of everything that you need to experience. You came here with themes to experience. You came here with challenges. And a lot of these meetups that you're having, or these experiences that you're having, or these challenges you're having in your life are part of your learning. So if you can imagine, while let's just say you had a clearing and you feel so elated and so high vibe, and you know that feeling, and this is why when you're in it, you just love it. Like everything feels vivid and you're excited about life and you have so much passion. But then something comes up for healing and you start to kind of dip. You're not actually dipping into a very dark place anymore. You are dipping. It doesn't feel good, but you need to kind of be in that lower vibration to go through the human experience so you can make the right decisions for yourself, so you can overcome those decisions. For instance, let's say somebody has a pattern in their life and they're always a doormat. Person comes in, doormat. Person comes in, doormat. Person comes in, doormat. Well, their life theme is probably, one of their life themes is self-love and boundaries. And until they go beyond that, until they see that lesson and stand up for themselves, they're going to get all these different experiences bringing up the same theme. People taking advantage of you, people abusing you, people talking about you, people doing this, people doing that. And you're like, what is going on? I'm not a bad person, but all these situations are not, looking so good. It's making me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Well, in essence, you're not loving yourself. So imagine that your higher self is creating all these experiences. The universe is listening to your subconscious thoughts and saying, hey, I need to learn this. And all these experiences are coming my way. Eventually, as you do healings, as you start to meditate and use affirmations and start to do that shadow work, or look deep within your soul, what's going on here, and ask those questions, then you can start looking at these challenges that arise, these experiences that arise, as that. wow, here is an experience I need to go through to prove to myself, to my higher self, to the universe, that I love myself. So now that same person who takes advantage of you starts coming into your life, and you're like, no, it ends today. And they're looking like, what's wrong with you? Well, you know what? I learned I matter. And no one is going to treat me disrespectfully because I stopped allowing it. And when you start to have that self-love for yourself, the universe listens. And if you pass that test, you get a check mark. Now you can move on. But what's going to happen is there's this echo effect, almost like the universe is going to test you yet again. Did Brenda really learn that lesson? So it's like a repeat of the past comes up. Instead of going, oh no, what did I do wrong? It's here again. Why not say, wow, thank you for giving me this opportunity to prove to myself that I am a different person. Again, I say no. And when you start to do things that are right for you to show I have self-love and boundaries, that will eventually just whittle away, and it's a thing of the past. You don't need to be challenged anymore. Now, sometimes challenges come up in many different ways. And a lot of people will say, I'm going through really tough times right now. Those tough times are teaching you something. They are out there coming your way as teaching lessons. So when these experiences come our way, and they don't feel good, they actually feel pretty crappy sometimes, you have the power to look at something negative, neutral, or positive. At minimum, look at everything that comes your way as neutral. Then, from that point, if you are able to, then put a positive spin on it. Because anything is just a neutral event. I can make something very negative. If I put a negative spin on something, I am sure my negative spin is going to bring me more negativity, and this event will snowball in a really bad way to more of a negative thing. If I stay neutral, it's a much better place to be. But if I put a positive spin on it, I then add positivity and I get positive results. Now, I know the healing journey is not the easiest. There's that up and down, and people feel like when they're down, they're doing something wrong. You are not doing something wrong. It is just the place where you need to go have that human experience to either release old traumas, belief systems, go through uncomfortable situations so you can overcome a theme that you've come to learn. But once you pass it, or once you've gone through it, you'll notice you'll go back up. And imagine that you're always getting better. So you might have these ups and downs, but there's average of getting better and better and better and better. And why do you want to get better? Why do we want to do the work? There are many different reasons. Well, one, we get this great satisfaction when we pass a test or release something. Isn't that just like, oh, you can breathe in and say, oh, it feels so good. And you're on this, like, I'm on this high, anything's possible, I have so much passion, so many ideas, I'm going to get so much done. And then something starts creeping up, like, oh no, something's coming back up again. And for those of you who work on yourselves, you can start to feel that creeping up of something, right? Take a deep breath and say, okay, I'm ready. Now you can say, I'm ready, God, I'm ready, angels, I'm ready, universe. This beautiful, loving energy of the Creator can be spoken to in any way that's relevant to you, that feels good to you. So I'm not going to say you have to say it this way or that way. I'm just giving you ideas on how to communicate with this energy that loves us so. So you're going to have some highs. You're going to have some lows. But when you're in the low, you're not really in a low. So why do we want to do this work? Because each time we release a layer, you can imagine what's in a layer. Like, what does she mean, layer? We're going to have a healing session. Your higher self, your soul, knows exactly where you've been, where you are, and where you need to go. It knows all the multi-dimensional things that are affecting you. Past lives, which are really parallel lives. Everything's happening at the same time. But you can say downline lives, future lives, parallel lives. We're connected to so many different things. We have our childhood traumas, moments in time. We have ancestral wounds, our family dysfunction that's coming down from the lines. We have karma and karmic loops. We have so many things, negative thought patterns, things that we've seen, belief systems that aren't true, that say that we're not good enough. There are a lot of things that come into our field and interfere with us. Some people have spiritual attachments or a darker consciousness in their field that can really talk to them, say, you really suck. Now, sometimes it is our own traumas that cause this. Sometimes they're outside forces that come in. It really doesn't matter. We're not going to go into that right now, but what matters is this layer that's created from your higher self. It's saying, Brenda's ready to release this. And let's say there's 1,000 different things in there. 2% of this, 20% of that, 100% of this one, 25% of this one. Your higher self is creating that. And when it comes up for release, these beings of light work with your higher self or your soul, and it releases in a pretty gentle way, actually. And what happens when it releases? It never comes back. That stuff that left your field does not come back. We can always accumulate new traumas or negativity. Go watch the news, continue watching the news if you do. You're just going to bring in more. Or you can decide, I'm going to do the best I can to stop accumulating anymore. Because as I'm releasing, I want to keep my field clear. And as layers come up and layers come up, you're releasing that dark energy, that dense energy. And what happens is this beautiful divine light replaces it. So your light quotient increases. And what does that mean? It means your vibration, your frequency increases. I'll give it to you this way. Because some people say, well, I don't feel energy. I don't know what energy is all about. So when you meet someone and you have this light for them right away, and you just want to be around them, why do you think that is? It's not their looks. Looks are looks. We're talking serenity. That beautiful auric field is clear and welcoming and safe. You just want to be around that person because they feel so good. Now, you meet someone who's not in a good place. They are either not the nicest person or they're very depressed or angry. What happens is their field's really condensed and dark, and we sense that. So we're like pulling away. Oh yeah, nice seeing you again. And you want to run the other way as fast as possible. We are communicating energetically all the time with people. So we feel energy, although we don't know we're feeling energy. So some of us has dark energy in our field, not because they're bad people. A lot of us, we're not bad people. We had a lot of darkness because we've been through a lot of trauma, a lot of sadness, and we attract more of that stuff. Sometimes we're very open and empathic, so we pick up the heaviness of others. How many of you go to a party and when it's vibing and happy, you feel great? But then there's other times where you go into situations where you don't even want to go because the crowd is dark and it's heavy and it's sad, and you go home and your energy's drained and you're exhausted. Well, you've kind of given away your light accidentally and pulled in their heavy stuff. So people say, oh, I love when you come over. Yeah, of course you do, because you're pulling in their negativity and leaving light there. So we really want to be careful with our energy. But the more light that you bring in and let go of that dense energy, you become this really powerful beacon of light. And you can shine your light in any situation. So I've done a lot of work on myself. So I don't get bothered by going into situations that have darker energy anymore. I don't even feel it anymore. I don't even pay attention to it anymore. Why? Because my vibration has gone up to a higher frequency. And all that dark stuff's down here. So I'm not really resonating with that anymore. Now, that being said, when I go into a place that doesn't feel very good, you can do many things. You put yourself in a bubble of protection. But one of the most important, powerful things you can do is shine your light bright. You bring in this powerful divine energy and you intend for it to fill the room. Now, people who love that loving energy are going to come closer to you. They're going to stay in the room and they're going to enjoy it. There's going to be a few people that get very annoyed in your presence and run away. And you might notice this with family members or friends that don't really invite you around anymore, don't really like you anymore. They don't like your higher vibration as you're doing the work. So sometimes the healing journey, there's that up and down going on. You have your own personal struggles you're going with, but then you have to deal with losing of friends. But trust me, you're going to make new friends, people who resonate more with that new energy that you're bringing in. We are in a time of great, great change, beautiful change. And if anyone says, Brenda, the world looks so scary right now, I'm like, I don't see it as scary. I see it as the world needs to purge the darkness. It needs to come to the surface. The light on the planet is stronger than it's ever been. With that light, the darkness is coming out of every corner that has been hiding in. It's always been here. Well, for the last thousands of years, been here. And now we are seeing it. I was saying, okay, I have to make my choice. Do I want to stay in duality and continue playing this boring game? Or am I ready to do the work to go to the new earth? Now, for me, I'm so done with this boring duality. I don't resonate with it anymore. I see this world moving into one of love, joy, compassion, peace. And people say, well, that's impossible. It's not impossible. If you can think it, anything is possible. But we need to do the work to get into those higher vibrations, those different versions of us that are better and better and better. So the intention has to come from us. It's our free will to choose. There are some people who tell me my work is boring, what I say is boring, and they have no intention of moving to the new earth, and they're going to stay in duality. There is nothing wrong with that. That is their choice. I don't try to win them over. I don't try to change their mind. I just love them for where they are. I do my best to be on social media and make as many videos as I can, but I'm busy working with clients. I work with clients individually, in groups, remotely, in person, and sometimes we even have retreats. Sometimes we give retreats for bigger groups and sometimes for smaller ones, but we can customize for you. I'm here for your support, and I offer a discovery call. So if you're ever interested in working with me, please reach out, brenda@sobrilliant.ca, or go to my website and book a discovery call. I'd love to hear from you. And people want to sometimes fight with me because of my beliefs and my strong faith and belief in love on this planet is the highest frequency. And they want to argue. They're not going to get an argument out of me. I have nothing to prove. I know what I know. And I'm not there to change anyone's mind. So when you start to really connect with that divinity within you, and you feel that call of your heart, you're going to stand more stronger, more confident than you've ever been. You'll start to lose that wobble. That wobble meaning I'm doing the work and then something negative comes and I just totally lose it and go back into depression. That's normal in the healing journey. But over time, if you keep working on yourself, you're gonna come to a point where you are so strong and anchored in your light that whenever something comes your way, you're going to be able to hold your light, hold your alignment, and be that light worker. And a neat thing is, I've learned recently, is even when we go through those emotional ups and downs, our light quotient stays. It's independent of our emotional field. So you can imagine that as you're doing the work, you're holding more light. And even when you're going through an emotional response, you're still holding the light. So what are you doing? You're holding the light for others who can't. You're holding the light for humanity. You are a very powerful piece to this beautiful puzzle. Everyone has gifts. Everyone is a magnificent being of God, whether they want to move to the new earth or they want to stay and play in duality. They're still magnificent beings. and their soul is where it is, learning, because this is all about learning and growing. So it's all about letting go of judgment of others, judgment of yourself, forgiving those, and forgiving yourself. I see people as they are where they are. They're doing the best they can with the programs and interference they're in. Why am I going to judge them? Because I'm sure along my soul's path, I've been there too. It's like, let's just say someone has a master's degree. We'll take this into a 3D experience. Somebody has a master's degree. They don't laugh and make fun of a kindergarten child who's starting their journey. They teach them, they compliment them, they show by example what they can be. They meet them where they're at, say, hey, it's okay, keep going. So that's all this is. There's some of us that have been around for a while, and we came on planet Earth to hold the light and lead the way into the ascension process. We are not better. We're just a little more wiser. So we don't make fun or judge. We hold the light to say, hey, no matter what you're going through, come over here, come over here. Oh yeah, I've been through that. Oh my gosh, I remember wanting to leave this planet so many times, saying, God, please take me off. I can't do it. But keep doing the work, because you're going to get to that place where you say, God, universe, higher self, my support system, thank you. I am here. I'm loving every day, even when the challenges come my way. What am I going to learn from it? How exciting is this? I love this planet. I love humanity, and I know we're on to great things. So let go of the fear. Let go of the worry. Do the work. This is just an illusion for us to grow. And when you come to the other side of it, you can see it for the broader picture it is. It is fascinating that we are such powerful beings to create such a plane of existence to experience. It's just awe to me. The God in me sees the God in you.